Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Server Play with Scoots42. I know it's been a while. I've had a lot of computer problems. I had a hard drive failure, and a bunch of other stuff went horribly wrong. But we're back, hopefully for a while. Now, one of the things that has been giving me trouble as far as the Minecraft side goes is the grid. I've been having to do some pretty weird stuff to keep it going. A lot of the times I have to break this controller, log out, shut the server down, start the server back up, place the controller, and then I'll be able to use the grid for a while, and it'll stay up and running for a little while. But if I log out right now, and then if I were to log back in, these pillars would be off. I'd have to, basically reset the whole grid again. And quite frankly, it's kind of getting to be a pain in the butt. So what I'm going to be working on today is I'm going to try to start getting us switched over to applied energistics. And I've already done a lot of the legwork. Actually, Chagrin did a fair amount of the legwork getting the inscribers set up. I may rearrange some of this, mainly because these things are sighted from what I understand. So, for instance, I'm going to need access to the backs here, because I think this is where I'm going to need to pipe items in, because I'm going to want to automate this a little bit. I'm going to have to do it without the help of the grid. See, these things will stack, but I don't believe, these won't stack in here. I've got the grid. I'm going to leave it up and running because it can definitely help me while I'm getting the applied energistics stuff going. Let's grab a few conduits out of here and maybe a chest, because my goal today is I'd like to get some kind of an ME terminal and at least maybe an ME chest. I've got a lot of this set up in the grid to be auto-crafted. I'm working on this last little bit here. I need quite a few of these logic processors, which I can only get through the inscribers, and I really don't want to set these up to be auto-crafted with the grid, because I'd rather set these up to auto-craft with AE2, Applied Energistics. So I basically don't want to have to do a bunch of work, tear it all down, and then do a bunch more of the same work basically with a different mod. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to automate this a little bit, just with some Ender IO and hopefully a chest if I can spot one. Here we go. So if I remember right, what I should be able to do, and this is my logic press back here, number 3. I put those signs up there for me, by the way. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3. That should be my logic press. Yep. So if I put that there and tell you to insert with a chest, that is, say, right about here, and I immediately realize the flaw with my plan here, and that's okay. There we go. Hopefully I've got some signs left here. We'll just move this up a block. There we go. So hopefully if I dump all this gold in here and set this guy to extract always active, will that start the, I think it did. Yes. Cool. So I'm going to get quite a few of those, and I may as well do the same thing with these here. Let's see. And I may need to make those other chests that I put up there iron chests, otherwise they're going to try to make those double chests. And I don't really want that. So I believe that was our silicon press. I just kind of like centering these up a little bit. I just think it looks a little neater. I don't know how long this will stay over here, but it also helps keep me from getting confused about what is where. This really isn't that complicated of a mod. There's just a lot of different things to keep track of. There we go. So now, hopefully, I'll need a few more iron chests. No, that was not what I wanted to grab. That is what I wanted to grab, thank you. We have to try the old reloading of the chunks here if this doesn't speed up here any quicker. Okay, between the iron cow and some of the iron chickens, we have no shortage of iron, I can tell you that. Let's try the old reloading of the chunks and see if that doesn't... There we go. So I think what I want to do for now is I'm going to want to try to keep these separate. I think I need to take that out. And then something that people tend to forget, or if it's your first time setting up applied energistics, you're actually going to want a fifth one of these. And I usually keep this open because a lot of times the stuff that I'm making here, I'm actually going to want to combine that over here in an empty one to make the parts that I want. And as we are able to develop a more complex ME system, we may, of course, have multiples of these. I'll make sure these are all separate. Good. Okay, so this is going to need some iron chests here. And I don't know that I'm going to put one on here yet. I may as well. No, I better not. I better not, because this one, we may end up needing to automate that one a little bit different. These, we can pretty much just kind of set up with this simple bit of automation. And it won't, it'll help, you know, it really will. Because we'll be able to go and take care of some other things while these are busy doing their thing. Let's see if I can target that one. Up, iron chest, extract always active. One more time for the inscriber. Insert, please. Thank you. Up, extract always active. Inscriber, insert. I'm pretty sure we're also going to want a fair amount of the silicon. The up is going to be extract always active. And inscriber, you will be insert. I always found it interesting that these will stack here, but you can't stack them here. So, excuse me. Basically, this is what I have come up with to kind of semi-automate this process, so we can work on getting some of the other things done that we need. So let's see. Let's come over here and kind of the way I've been doing this is I've got the ME chest set up to craft, and it's telling me that what I'm missing to make one are 3 of these logic processors. So I'm going to look up this logic processor. Is that not JEI? There we go. And it says that we need printed logic circuits, which I'm working on. Those are those golds that I'm doing in the inscriber. And this is printed silicon, which we're going to get in a silicon press with, you guessed it, silicon. And we're going to want a fair amount of those too. So I'm hoping that we have access to silicon, which we do. So let's just go ahead and do a whole stack of those. And this is why there's no outward indication of what is what. You know, it just kind of tells you this is an inscriber. Okay, great. Well, I don't really know what's in there. So what I want is the silicon press, which is right here. And if I set that upright, this should start making our printed silicon. So let's take one of those, and let's take, it said we're going to need 3. So let's see if we can get 3 of them. Well, I got a few more than 3 of them, didn't I? And we're going to need 3 pieces of redstone. So if I come over here and look up logic press, or logic processor, it says the printed logic circuit, the redstone, and the printed silicon. So where did I put this? There it is. So this should hopefully give us a logic processor. And you can see hopefully why I'm interested in being able to automate this, because I can only load one of these items in at a time. So I mean there are fairly simple ways to automate it, but for now I want to get that chest going. It said I needed 3 of these, so if I put 3 of these into the grid over here, I kind of like being over here to do this, so I can, boy, we need to reload the chunks again, don't we? Man, there's a lot going on over here. Anyway, if we put these in, hopefully now, when I request an ME chest, it'll tell me I can make one. And it says I can, so hopefully it'll give me one. There we go. And I want to kind of test something right here. So this is what I'm thinking. This should be getting power just by, and it is. Yeah, see, so this stuff isn't really necessary under here, because I'm thinking that I'm going to want to be able to, especially on this last one, I'm going to want to be able to pipe stuff in from underneath. And I'm also going to be able to need to be able to pipe it in, I believe, from the top and from the back, or one of the sides at least. So this thing is getting power. The problem, though, there's no storage cell. So what we need to do is, one way or the other, we need to get some kind of a storage cell. So let's see. For that we need the storage component. We'll need one of these. So let's set that up to autocraft, because we can make those logic processors pretty easy. And again, most likely, unfortunately, we're going to be tearing this all down, I believe. So that was our 1K storage component. Let's see if we can just get a 1K disk real quick, so we can see how this chest is going to work, hopefully. 1,000, that's not really going to store a whole lot. And that, I believe, was the sound. We need a logic processor, so that's good. That's actually going to be pretty easy. And what I may want to do, let's do this. Let's just get a bunch of redstone. Let's try that. Because I have a feeling that what I'm going to want from this is a bunch of redstone in the center. I think I need to set that up. Okay. target? Yeah, barely, but I got it. Extract always active. Look at that. Nice. North, insert. And so you're getting redstone now. Sweet. And we've got a bunch of these in our inventory already, so let's get some of those, I believe it was. And we're going to want that and that. So that should complete, and then, yep, it drops us another. Awesome. So let's do this and see if we can get our storage cell now. 1K storage cell. It's not super big, but I'm thinking it might be what we need to get. Yeah, see how the graphic changed? And now we have an ME chest that we can start storing stuff in if we want. Super cool. Super, super cool. So the next thing that I want to work on, well, let's see what I've got going for applied energistics so far. Can I craft an ME terminal? It says I'm missing a logic processor. Well, we know how to make those, so let's make a logic processor. Sweet. So can I make one now? And this, I believe, is just the regular terminal. And eventually, oh man, that was quick. So I'll need some cable. Oh. Did I teach you how to make cables? I did. Let's see if you can make a stack of them. We're missing fluid crystals, so we're going to have to learn how to make those really soon. And that is going to be okay. So let's see if I put that there. I put that there. I think this actually needs to go on, because this is all multi-block stuff. Now these I don't believe take up a channel. These do though, and we can have, I believe, up to 8 items right now. And I don't know if this is the proper controller. It's the only one I can find. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research, because the only thing I can find that says that it is actually an ME controller is this Futura block from Chisel. I did manage to get one, because if I can make these, and which I did, and then I chiseled them to get one of these, but I don't know if that is actually the correct block or not. I honestly, truly do not know. What I do know is I want to look into seeing what we can do about getting an ME crafting terminal. Let's see, where'd you go? There you are. And that is an ME terminal. Looks like some kind of a workbench and a calculation processor, printed calculation circuit, pure Certus quartz crystal, and the calculation press. So let's get that going. And I'm betting we'll want a fair amount of these, so let's go ahead and just throw a whole stack in there. And that was in the calculation press, so you should go in there. Oh, and it can use a crafting table, which is super awesome. We just happen to have one right here. And let's see, what was this again? Printed calculation circuit and printed silicon. Hopefully the order doesn't matter. Calculation processor. So what we should hopefully be able to do now, oh, you know what, we're actually going to hijack this. I don't know about you guys, but I would actually much rather, did that take my, it did. Pick is just a little too quick. There we go. I may need a slower pick for working around the shop here. Alright, everybody settle down. Let's reload some chunks. There we go. So if I do this, yes, now we have our crafting terminal. And sweet. This over here on the side is room for different kinds of upgrades, you know, for filtering and for different things. And as we advance our ME system, we will definitely be able to look into those. I'm sure we're going to want this stuff for something. But my hope is that basically by the next episode, I will have progressed far enough with this that by the next episode, what you'll see is instead of refined storage stuff, which again, there's nothing wrong with refined storage. I don't know if there's just some kind of a bug, or if you know, there's just some kind of a conflict with one of the other mods, or maybe even this version of Forge. I don't know. But I'm gonna, you know, check and see how the refined storage works, because you know, it's just going to be a pain for me and honestly for everybody else on the server if we've got to break this and then restart the server every single time we lose access to the grid. I've never really experienced that before, and I've tried a number of different things to try to combat it, but it was even it's really affecting everything. It was even affecting my ability to generate power. But I think that was pretty much all I really had planned for today's episode, as far as being able to develop the ME system. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the basics. We'll get into a little bit more of the cabling and a little bit more of the automation of this in the next episode. Between now and then, I'm going to kind of experiment with working out how to fully automate this system here, because I'm pretty sure I can pipe stuff in from the bottom and they'll just receive power from each other. I don't think I actually need to have those cables there. Before we wrap up today, though, I wanted to wait until the end of the episode, because I'm also kind of thinking this might help show you guys why I'm kind of doing all this. Let's see, where is my giant... Oh, there it is. Oh, there we go. Sorry about all the noise there for a second. On one of my exploratory missions, and I do temporarily have grid access out here, and it's not behaving too bad right now. It honestly isn't. A lot of times, though, I get super heavy lag out here. And there, I think, well, there was a little bit. It's not too bad right now. But this is kind of what I've stumbled on. I don't really want to say I've been working on it. I did kind of make this little pillar here, or a platform, I guess is a better word for it. But I found a crag, which honestly I haven't actually seen crag biome since I played some Minecraft 1.7. And so I was really excited because this is one of my favorite biomes. There's going to be a lot of super cool things we're going to be able to do out here in a crag. One of the things I want to do is have like a super cool base out here. I kind of built this right here for now so that I'm protected. So I have some kind of protection. I don't think I ever lit up the top of that. I probably should. Get some glowstone. How about that? Put a little glowstone up here to keep things from spawning up here. I didn't even think about that. Oh, there we go. But I mean, you can see, I mean, this place is just massive. I really liked, what really got me was this, where there's a meteor strike. Which I'm actually kind of glad that meteor is down there, because I wanted to show you guys this too. I've got one of these meteorite compasses. Chagrin had found nearly all of the inscriber presses, which is really super cool. You can see how my meteorite compass is kind of going haywire. If I move out of the chunk, which another thing, if you hit F9, it'll bring up your chunk boundary menu. You can see how that meteorite compass is kind of pointing towards the chunk, and when I move into the chunk that has one, it just starts going bonkers. So there's a smaller one here, and this is where I really loved having this unbreakable pick that I made. I can just kind of aim mine this whole thing, and if there's a chest, like this one has a silicon press in it, which we don't really need these anymore. They might still come in handy though, because I may end up, I have a feeling I'll do some multiplying of the presses, kind of like we do with the solderers. You'll find that applied energistics and refined storage are very similar, and that is in fact by design. Refined storage, the guy that created it liked applied energistics, was directly inspired by it from what I understand. See, not sure if there's a chest in this one, I'm not seeing it. It didn't, it might still be in here though. Wow. This is a big meteorite. The problem with the skystone chests is they look just like regular skystone. I am having a hard time believing that a meteorite this big didn't have one, so maybe I'm in the wrong spot. Let's come over here. Man, this is a giant meteor. I'm gonna keep bringing that up. I kind of switched my controls around a little bit, and I'm still getting used to them. Hello, hot spring water mini moon. Well, that was interesting. Got a bunch of stuff in my... I don't know if that full moo I picked up there will have any uses. Probably not. But it might be something we can have some fun with. That's what I like about this pack. You know, not everything has to be 100% completely about survival and, oh, you know, we got to do it like this. You know, this pack is severely overpowered in favor of the player. You know, so I mean, if you accidentally break something, it's really not that big of a deal, because chances are there's going to be a bunch more. So wow, it doesn't look like there was a chest in this one, which is really super crazy. I'm wondering if this is another full moon. Oh, no, it looks like that may have been the real thing. Cool. I don't know what I'm going to get to do with that demon metal yet either. But I tell you, really, having this unbreakable pick, I don't know. I'm so glad that I didn't end up losing it. I would have just made another one, to be honest. But having an unbreakable pick, it really just, unless I just think, that the color looks really super cool or something, I just don't know. I don't know that I would make any more, but the demon metal, we may end up having other uses for it, or we may, maybe we want to do some kind of a special battle arena or something where we use different weapons, or who knows. But it sounds like it'll be a fun metal to work with one way or the other. But anyway, that's kind of what I did. I just went meteorite hunting to come up with that last inscriber press that I needed. And I've been kind of coming out here working on this. There's a couple other crag areas that I've been kind of stealing materials from. And man, I tell you, I really have some awesome ideas for what I can do to kind of sculpt this out here. And I think it's just going to be a really, really fun build idea, is what I'm hoping. And I did set up some of these styling devices. This one, I don't have it fully powered, so it takes a minute. It'll start off, and then it says telepad not powered. It's gathering the rest of the power that it needs. So it just takes it a minute is all. There we go, and we're back. Now I'm kind of wondering if it's going to do to me what it's been doing to me, or if everything's still going to be cool. No, it looks like it's still cool this time, which is cool. Maybe it knows its day is coming. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a time limit, or I'm not really sure. But I do know there's a lot of other. Well, maybe not a lot of, but there's a couple of other things that Applied Energistics can do that refined storage can't. And I am extremely interested in doing those couple of things. So I think it is going to be in our best interest to switch over. But I do think also, unfortunately, it is time to wrap up today's episode. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I'm glad to be back. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Remember to give me a thumbs up if you're liking these episodes. And as always, remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of videos that I put out in the future. As always, thanks for stopping by today, guys, and take care.